Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is Weather on the Go, and you get all your weather coverage here on my page. So make sure as you're joining the live stream here this evening, again, welcome 6 o'clock this time here, Central Time, and make sure to drop the like. Press that thumbs up button down below the live stream as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. You get all of your daily weather forecast updates on this channel by subscribing, and you also get longer range weather forecasts as well on this channel. So in this video, in this live stream today, we're going to be focusing mainly on the ice storm potential, and we're also going to be focusing on the longer range weather pattern as well, getting in towards early and middle February after we talk about the ice storm potential here. So looking at the alerts outside the door this evening, we got lots of alerts piling up across the southern plains, getting into the mid-Mississippi Valley, even extending up into the mid-Atlantic here as well. We're going to get to all these alerts, and we're going to be pinpointing some of the bigger cities in the path of these alerts here this evening. So looking first at the winter weather advisories, these are your purple shaded colors all the way up into West Virginia, including the Charleston, West Virginia, or at least near the Charleston, West Virginia area, getting down through most of the state of Kentucky. We're talking Louisville, we're talking Lexington, some of these areas back in towards Paducah, Kentucky, are in these winter weather advisories. Then you have winter weather advisories farther south and westward here into west central portions of Oklahoma, getting into the panhandle of Texas. So now Midland, Lubbock, Texas, you guys are in that winter weather advisory. And this is not for snow, I may add as well. This is for ice. So we're definitely seeing a very hazardous winter storm moving in as we speak. And this actually continues through the height of the week through at least Wednesday. And it looks like we have winter weather advisory, or winter storm warnings rather, across central portions of Texas, North Texas. This does include near the San Antonio region, getting up towards the I-20 corridor here and the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. This moves up north and eastward into southeastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, up there toward Fort Smith, Arkansas area, and then into southern Missouri as well. These are not for significant snow. This is actually for significant icing, likely through the next couple of days, and even ice storm warnings being hoisted for Little Rock, Arkansas, east-northeastward into Memphis, Tennessee, and a small portion here of far northwestern Mississippi as well, under these ice storm warnings. Ice storm warnings are pretty significant as well. That's usually when you can start to see more of a quarter of an inch to even a half an inch of ice. That's when they issue these ice storm warnings. So they are only issued for a quarter of an inch or more of ice. This amount of ice accumulation of a quarter inch or more will make travel dangerous, if not impossible, and will likely lead to snapped power lines, falling tree branches. So travel is strongly discouraged and power outages are possible, and I may even add probably likely with this setup as we head through the next couple of days. Where on a step down from that, you have those winter storm warnings and then those winter weather advisories. Essentially, I'll go back here and show you, really, if you guys take a look at this map and you see all these different colors, you see the darker violet colors here with the ice storm warnings and then the pink shaded colors for winter storm warnings. They're essentially not really that different. Winter storm warnings are still for ice as well. And so just treat these winter storm warnings as ice storm warnings. They just have these National Weather Services down here, the National Weather Service offices into portions of Texas, Oklahoma, and in southern Missouri, just issue winter storm warnings in place for these ice storm warnings sometimes, just for different criteria. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, winter weather advisories are issued with at least a light ice glaze here. Usually a light glaze of ice is expected, but will not reach warning criteria. So in these categories, like up into Kentucky, into portions of West Virginia, into the panhandle of Texas, we're not expecting a quarter inch or more of ice, but we're still expecting a light glaze of ice, or a little bit more than that, maybe 0.2 of an inch of ice as well. Expect a glaze of ice on the roads in these areas, resulting in hazardous travel. Slow down, use caution while driving. Leave plenty of distance between you and the person in front of you as possible. And because of any trace amounts of ice, it doesn't take much ice to make the roads dangerous and impossible to drive in. So even in winter weather advisories, guys, just stay home and heed the storm. Just stay home and wait for the storm to pass for the next couple of days. And I promise you, we will get through this together. So now let's break down the overall pattern and why we are seeing this. So we're seeing the vorticity signature here this evening. This is the 5 500 millibar vorticity up in the mid levels of the atmosphere. So just a few thousand feet above our heads. And that's where all that energy is. That's pinwheeling itself across Southern California into the Baja of California as well this evening. That will be pinwheeling itself farther east across southern Arizona, southern New Mexico, and eventually arriving into West Texas by the time we get into the middle of the week. You can see this bowling ball type of trough. This is a positive tilt trough. So usually when you see a positively tilted trough, these actually move a lot slower. And the reason why we say a positive tilt, because it's facing northeast. When you have a negatively tilted trough, it's facing more northwesterly, and it kind of pivots its way up to the northeast. These are slower moving, so you kind of see a lot more longer duration weather impacts, and that's why we're seeing our ice storm continuing not only through this evening into the overnight hours, but through the day on Tuesday into Wednesday, and even into Thursday morning across the Tennessee Valley and parts of the Arklatex potentially as well. So if you guys are just joining me, just a reminder, hit the like button down below. It gets all of this weather information out to more and more people on YouTube. I definitely appreciate all the likes out there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already. If you're new to the channel, we do daily weather forecast updates here. I do great videos on this channel. You guys will not be missing out on any weather forecasts here on this channel each and every day. I upload at 9 o'clock in the morning Central Time. And you guys get short range, medium range, and even longer range weather forecasts at the end of most of my videos every single morning. And again, I will be putting out my February outlook on February 1st. So if you guys are looking ahead to February, you guys can see that there in the next couple of days. On Wednesday, I'll be putting that out. And then my spring outlook for March, April, and May will be coming out, I think, towards that second week in February. So if you guys are waiting for my spring outlook, that will be coming out rather soon as well. So another reason to subscribe. So that's what we're seeing here with the storm system across the southern plains. Now let's dig into a little bit more of the dynamics with this system. So I know a lot of weather nerds out there, including myself, like to look at a lot of the different layers of the atmosphere. And it's all right to do that, because you have to look at the atmosphere from the top down, and looking at the 850 millibar winds and the low levels. These are your low level temperatures. This is about 2,000 to around 5,000 feet above our heads. So this is not where we live. This is above our heads by several thousand feet. And you can see these temperatures are at 10, even 15 degrees Celsius, which is really pretty warm across portions of the Arklatex here into North Texas. And then you have some of the colder anomalies moving in across the panhandle of Texas on the back side. This is Tuesday evening, tomorrow evening. But look at the temperatures by tomorrow evening. At the height of this event, and I did pick Tuesday evening because it's right in the middle of this ice storm during the day on Tuesday into Tuesday night. And you can see that the temperatures at the surface are actually below freezing for most of us here, even into portions of North Texas, Northwest Texas, up into the panhandle through much of Oklahoma, north central Arkansas, including the Little Rock area up toward Fort Smith, Jonesboro, Arkansas, up into the foothills of Missouri, and then getting in toward Memphis, Tennessee, around 30 degrees, likely Tuesday evening. And if I go back, you can see that warm nose aloft is going to be punching right into the center of this ice storm, and you can see the colder air at the surface. So we're going to have snowflakes falling out of the sky, falling out of the clouds, and then it's going to turn into rain droplets because of these warm temperatures aloft. But then by the time it reaches the surface, it's going to refreeze on contact, because these temperatures are at or most likely below freezing in a big way by several degrees, probably in the middle to upper 20s, especially into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, on up here into Wichita Falls, Oklahoma City metro area, getting into Tulsa, Fort Smith, Little Rock, Memphis. All of these areas, even up into Paducah, Kentucky, will be well below freezing into the 20s Tuesday evening with this, and it's going to be rainfall falling. You think usually you see snowfall with this type of setup with temperatures in the 20s, but with such a warm air aloft, we're going to see a lot of this turning to liquid and then refreezing on contact. So that is what we're seeing out there. Again, I will get to a lot of your comments here very, very soon. So if you guys wait patiently, I promise you I will get to as many comments and questions and concerns as possible on the live chat. So if you have any questions down below, in the live chat is open here on the live stream. So definitely comment, your questions, concerns, anything like that down below. I will get to those, I promise, here in just a few minutes. But I did want to show you this. These are your winter weather precipitation types. So of course, with the snowfall, which we're not seeing with this storm for the most part, you have the snow falling from the cloud all the way to the ground because the air aloft is cold from top down to the ground. But with sleet, we could have some sleet with this system. It will start to snow, and then you have that shallow layer of warm air aloft in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, and then it refreezes to ice pellets and then falls to the ground, and that's what you have with sleet. So with freezing rain, and this is probably one of the most dangerous types of winter weather precipitation, is freezing rain. You have the snowflake falling out of the clouds itself, the base of the cloud, and then with that large area of above 32 degrees Fahrenheit air temperatures aloft, this is about 2,000, 5,000, 6,000 feet above our heads, that will melt the snowflake to liquid rainfall droplets as rain, and then refreeze on contact. We're talking bridges, overpasses, your windshields outside, stairs. If you have any stairs leading up to your home, railings, all that stuff, it will refreeze on anything possible, and that is what is called freezing rain. And then of course rainfall starts off as snow, and then it melts to liquid all the way to the surface and never refreezes because the temperatures aloft and at the surface are well above freezing. So hopefully that helps you guys out in understanding what the different precipitation types and how they occur are, across much of the layers of the atmosphere with that. So let's see if we have any questions out there, guys. So let's see here who's joining me this evening. Thanks everybody so much for joining. If you guys have not yet pressed the like button, definitely do so on the way in or the way out here, if you guys have to leave this evening, but definitely appreciate everybody joining me this evening. We're going to be dissecting this ice storm from top to bottom here this evening, so you guys are well aware of what is to come. And we're going to get to the ice accumulation here as well in just a couple of minutes. So if you guys are wondering how much ice to expect, stick around because we will be getting to that and much more. We're going to be looking ahead to the next 7 to 10 days and also looking ahead to February of 2023 in this live stream to what to expect there. As well. So Sully says, hope everyone in the ice path stays home. Yes, stay home. Very dangerous travel. Impossible travel as well. So again, you want to stay home through the next couple of days, at least through Wednesday evening with the height of this event for sure. So thank you for joining. Alfred says, what's happening? Yeah, we got an ice storm going on, my friend. So definitely keep tabs on YouTube here to these live streams and the weather forecast over the next couple of days to stay safe out there. Brad McCartney says, I plan on staying home. Hope the power stays on. Yes, for sure. Hopefully, again, that's another thing with this system is that the power outages are probably going to happen somewhere. I have high confidence that somewhere there's going to probably be at least scattered power outages. And probably the highest concentration of that will be probably from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex north and eastward toward Little Rock, and then Memphis, Tennessee is what I'm seeing right now. So if you live from Dallas-Fort Worth to Little Rock to Memphis, Tennessee, that is that zone where I'm expecting likely power outages, at least scattered to numerous power outages throughout the height of this week. So let's go through real quick before I answer more questions, the hourly kind of forecast through the next couple of days. We're going to skip around through the evening here, going through the day tomorrow and on Wednesday to show you. We're going to have 3 different rounds, 3 different surges and waves of freezing rain. So it's not going to be constant freezing drizzle and freezing rain all the way from now through Wednesday night. There's going to be a large breaks and dry time in between. So there could be some melting going on in between this with that freezing line kind of wavering back and forth across parts of central and east Texas, on up here into southern Arkansas and central Arkansas as well. So we could have some freezing and then refreezing and stuff like that through the next couple of days. So looking here this evening around 6 o'clock, we're already seeing that moderate freezing rain getting going up here toward Fort Smith into southeastern Oklahoma, northeast Texas here, some freezing drizzle down along that I-20 corridor there into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. That extends up into the foothills here of Missouri. I think the colder air will win out a little bit more up into portions of southeastern and southern Missouri, into southern portions of Illinois and western Kentucky up here towards Carbondale, Paducah, and then Cape Girardeau up here into Missouri. I think the colder air will be winning out, so more sleet and maybe some snowflakes mixing in up here. But then farther south with that deeper air deeper, warmer air layer above our heads, like I was showing you, 5,000 feet or so above our heads, that's where we're going to see more of that freezing rain take place. And there already is across northwest and northern Arkansas, stretching back into southeastern Oklahoma and northeast Texas through this evening. Getting into the overnight hours, that first wave moves on up through Memphis, getting into western Tennessee. So places like Memphis, Jackson, Tennessee, just near and west of Nashville there along I-40. Definitely a rough go of it there in western Tennessee. That extends up here toward the Louisville region. Again, the colder air might win out initially with this, but some of this warmer air will try to move up into western Kentucky. So we'll kind of have a wintry mix of different precipitation types up here, from freezing rain to sleet to snow back to rain. So it's going to be a messy mode of precipitation up into western and central Kentucky into early tomorrow morning. Then our second surge of moisture comes in through mid-morning tomorrow. This is 9 a.m. and the first surge is moving up into the mid-Atlantic and weakening. And then our second wave or surge of moisture moves in across the southern plains near the Red River here into southern Oklahoma, north central Texas, down towards San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, even back toward Wichita Falls. Definitely be on the lookout for freezing drizzle and freezing rain potentially on and off through the morning, especially mid to late morning tomorrow morning. It looks to be all rain from Houston down toward Corpus Christi, so we're not talking any freezing rain down there tomorrow morning, so you're all good there. But as we go through the evening, look at just how this stretches out from central Texas on up through the central Arkansas into western and middle Tennessee. So places like Jackson, Tennessee, back through Memphis, Tennessee there, Little Rock, getting up toward Jonesboro, Arkansas, back toward the DFW Metroplex, and perhaps even back towards San Antonio. We could be talking about some significant icing through the afternoon on Tuesday, getting into Tuesday evening. So this is one of our most major time frames of the next surge of moisture tomorrow. Will be more significant than what we are seeing now, just due to the fact that we're going to have already some icing on the ground from the first wave, but we're also going to have even more moisture to work with through tomorrow evening. And then it gets even worse from there. This is Wednesday morning, and the third wave starts to move in Wednesday mid-morning around 9 a.m. across central Texas. And this time, that freezing line could be farther south, so places into south central Texas could have a mixture of rain and freezing rain potentially into the mid-morning hours on Wednesday. And this could mean some widespread light to moderate ice accumulation here across central Texas. So Dallas, Fort Worth, back westward toward Midland, Lubbock, Texas, getting up towards Wichita Falls here, Denton, Texas, getting in towards San Antonio. All these areas will be rough go of it here. So this is mid-morning on Wednesday, and another surge of moisture. And this will be the strongest surge of them all, because we've already accumulated significant icing from today, Monday, into Tuesday, and then we have more icing on Wednesday as well, moving over those same areas. So now just the 24-hour ice accumulation. So this is from now through Tuesday afternoon. This is just early Tuesday afternoon, guys. This is going till about noon time frame, Central Daylight Time. So this is through noon tomorrow, and we're already expecting 0.2 of an inch up to 1/4 of an inch of ice across that I-20 corridor from Dallas-Fort Worth back southwestward here towards San Antonio. It will be a rough go of it through the afternoon tomorrow, so definitely stay off the roads. Going to be very dangerous. We're talking up to 1/4 of an inch of ice. Back to the northeast, where we're seeing those ice storm warnings, we are going to be seeing another 1/4 of an inch of ice here across a swath from western Tennessee back into central Arkansas here toward Memphis, getting in toward Little Rock, Jonesboro, Arkansas. These areas could be seeing up to 1/4 of an inch of ice just within the next 24 hours. So this is with the first wave that I was talking about going through early tomorrow afternoon. Stretching up to the northeast, we could be seeing a light glaze of ice into these winter weather advisories. Like I was mentioning before, Kentucky's not going to see the most significant icing, but it doesn't take a lot of ice, guys. I promise you that, to produce a lot of difficult, tricky travel through West Virginia into Kentucky, downstate Indiana and Illinois, and into the foothills here of Missouri. Again, it's only 1/10 of an inch, maybe a 2/10 of an inch of ice with this system, but it's not going to take much to make the road very slick out there. You're going to see those trees starting to get weighed down as well with the icing on the tree branches, and the power lines getting weighed down by the weight of the ice on the power lines. So definitely some power outages are possible, even up into Kentucky as well. So we'll continue to monitor that. This is within just through early tomorrow afternoon, through noon time frame. But now putting it all together. So this is the total ice accumulation from now all the way through Wednesday evening. This is the entirety of the event. And yes, you're seeing these very dark colors. It's probably hard to see, but if you match it up with the scale on the bottom here, you can see a lot of areas seeing half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice at least across central Texas, getting into northeast Texas here toward Dallas-Fort Worth, San Antonio, back up into southeastern Oklahoma, and then that stretches up toward Little Rock, and really another swath of significant icing could be around the Memphis area. Memphis could get hit pretty hard, I think, by the ice, so definitely watch out for that. Getting into Jackson, Mississippi, near and west of Nashville, and then that stretches up farther to the north and east across Kentucky, southern Illinois toward Carbondale, Paducah, Kentucky there, and then southeastern Missouri could have at least 1/4 of an inch of ice there from now through Wednesday evening. So we're putting all three of those waves that I mentioned, so from tonight into tomorrow, then the second wave that comes in from mid-morning Tuesday through Tuesday night, and then the third wave from mid-morning on Wednesday through Wednesday night. Putting it all together, we could have a significant half inch to maybe upwards of an inch of ice accumulation across portions of the Arklatex, getting back into northeast Texas through the entirety of this event. So somebody may be getting up to an inch of ice here. The confidence beyond that, I don't know if we're going to get any spots above an inch of ice, but I do think there could be a couple spots getting an inch of ice from this system, and that's telling a very big story on this, because an inch of ice is very hard to come by. I mean, that's a lot of ice accretion. Just think about an inch of snow, what an inch of snow looks like, and then put the, and just measure ice the same way, and it's very crippling as we go through the next several days indeed. So definitely take it easy on the roads if you do have to travel. Travel is highly discouraged from now through especially tomorrow and Wednesday across the portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and portions of the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley here. So especially western Tennessee. So if you're traveling I-40 here westward out of Nashville to the west toward Memphis, don't do it. It's too dangerous, guys. It's impossible travel through the next couple of days. With the snowfall aspect of the system, there will be some snow, but we're not talking about a monstrous snowstorm by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe a dusting to an inch of snow here with the colder air winning out farther north, southern Missouri down through downstate Illinois, southern Indiana near Evansville there, Carbondale. We could be talking about up to an inch of snow. Again, when you combine snow with a light glaze of ice, that can make it very hazardous with travel as well. But just be mindful of that through the day tomorrow and getting into Wednesday. This is not going to be a big snow maker, but it's going to be a crippling ice maker as we go through the next couple of days. So you do want to be mindful of that. And here's your travel impacts from now through Wednesday night. Again, minor to at least moderate travel impacts. So moderate travel impacts from Dallas-Fort Worth back southwest here towards San Antonio, Little Rock getting up to Memphis, Jackson, Tennessee here, and then those minor travel impacts stretching up into central Kentucky and into West Virginia as well. And as this graphic does get updated overnight by the Weather Prediction Center, I do expect at least some of these areas to be upgraded to a major travel impacts, especially into North Texas near DFW Metroplex on up toward Little Rock and Memphis. I feel like some of these areas could be upgraded to a major travel disruption through the next couple of updates from the Weather Prediction Center. Once they do update this graphic overnight tonight. So any questions out there, drop them in the live stream, the live chat. I'll be answering as many questions right now as possible. So let's see who is out here. Yeah, Zippo Fanatic 77 Outdoors says, dropping a like. Thanks so much for everybody dropping likes this evening. Definitely much appreciated. Let's see. Watch the... William says, on deck here in Central Alabama. Well, thank you for joining here from Central Alabama. It looks like, yeah, Central Alabama, you're not going to see any ice. You're going to see a lot of heavy rain from this system, so definitely be mindful of that. A lot of flash flooding potential there into Central Alabama through this week. So you're on the rain side of the system, but the ice is farther to your west and northwest. Greg says Southwest Arkansas here. Yeah, if you live in southwestern Arkansas, be mindful of the ice out there. Stay indoors through the next couple of days. Do not travel on the roads unless you necessarily, you necessarily have to, because it is very dangerous here. Ice is, freezing rain is nothing to mess with. It's one of the most dangerous precipitation types you can have, besides, of course, hail. That could do a lot of damage as well, but. Southern Illinois was just issued a winter storm warning. Okay, I'll have to look at that. I did not see that. Any damage in North Georgia? No. North Georgia, you guys are going to stay all rain with this system. Heavy rainfall near the Atlanta metro area. I'll be showing you here in just a couple of minutes. If you guys are wondering how much rain you can expect, I'm going to get through this graphic and some of these questions here, and we'll get to that, how much rain you could see across the central Gulf Coast and the southeast. But yeah, Atlanta, Georgia, you can expect some decent rains. I'll show you that here in just a few minutes. Just trying to get through all of these questions here. Future meteorologist Mia says, hey, thank you for joining, Mia. Matthew says, thumbs up. Thank you so much, Matthew. William says, this winter storm slid further south than was expected. Yes, over the last couple of days, the models were trending farther south and deeper with that colder air farther south, south of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So now we're talking San Antonio, down toward Tyler, Texas even, potentially with some freezing drizzle for a time, before we get back to, rain in those areas, liquid rainfall. So that's some good news there. At least they're seeing more rainfall in Tyler, Texas, but other areas, a lot more freezing rain. Rain Mave says a mild February is likely as I have 30s in the forecast next week. I will be getting to that, and I disagree with you. I think February is going to be a very cold month, and I will get to that and why I think that here later on in my live stream. So we're going to be getting to that here shortly. So if you guys want to stick around, we're going to be talking about February and what to expect with temperatures and precipitation through the month of February here after we get through the nuts and bolts of this ice storm, just showing you guys what to expect. Ashley says, I'm in West Tennessee waiting patiently for this ice storm to hit. Yes, Western Tennessee, overnight tonight, you guys will start to see some pretty heavy icing across Memphis, getting up into Jackson, Tennessee there. The I-40 corridor from Nashville on westward is going to be nasty this evening. It's going to be nasty this evening. It's going to go downhill into early tomorrow morning, and we're expecting 1/10 of an inch up to 1/4 of an inch of ice into Western and Middle Tennessee going through the next 24 hours, and that is just the first 24 hours. We got 2 more waves of precipitation to go through Wednesday into Western and Middle Tennessee there. So do stay safe, Ashley. Thanks for joining. Yes, William says, I'm looking forward to the spring forecast. If you guys want to know, I'm going to be putting out my spring forecast actually starting in the second week in February. So around the February 8th to February 10th timeframe. Look out for that. I will be putting that out, including my February forecast that I'll be putting out Wednesday morning, this Wednesday on February 1st. I do at every first of the month, I put out the monthly outlook for my videos there so you guys can see what to expect and what I forecast for the whole month ahead as well. Do you think Houston will lose power even though it's not looking like ice will be in Houston? No, Houston, you guys will probably, no, I'm not thinking any power outages for Houston. If you guys have any power outages in Houston, it would be from thunderstorms. I'm not thinking anything with ice related down toward the coastal Texas. So from Corpus Christi up through Houston and then into Lake Charles, Louisiana, those areas, you guys are going to be all rain. The Gulf of Mexico is far, far too warm still. Far, far too warm still for any, freezing rain to get that far south. Now, there could be a couple of areas that could get close to Houston, maybe about an hour or so west with freezing drizzle, but I don't think it quite makes it into Houston. I think if anything, if the power goes out in Houston, it will be from a thunderstorm rather than freezing rain. But good question. Thank you so much for asking. Brad says, would like to know about Ohio area regarding this ice. Yeah, so let me go back here because Brad had a great question about Ohio here, the ice. Yeah, so if you look at this graphic, this is the entirety of the system here. This is using the HRRR model. Again, this is just one model run, so I do want to say that. But the HRRR has done a fairly decent job this year of forecasting these mesoscale type of bands of snowfall and these ice storms, at least so so far this year. And I do agree with what it shows here. I think the icing will stay farther south from Ohio here, but there could be a light glaze of ice potentially into far, far, far southern Ohio getting in towards Wednesday evening with that third wave that moves on up into those areas. But I don't think we're going to see any major travel disruptions with that. Maybe just some slick sidewalks at times. Just have to watch when you walk out the door getting into Wednesday evening. But overall, Ohio is looking golden, looking A+ for the icing. We're not seeing any big ice into Ohio. So good question. I'm in north central Arkansas, salty. Road covered here. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of ice in northern Arkansas is what they're saying. So yes, there's over the next 24 hours, we're going to see lots of icing across northern parts of Arkansas. So just get ready for that going through the next 24 hours and really through the middle of the week. Lots of salt being used. So if you guys have salt outside and if you have not gone to the store to get salt, especially the Ohio Valley. So if you live in Kentucky and the ice has not got to you yet, go out to the store, buy some salt and just get ready for this and stay indoors once you get home to stay off the roads because it's going to be very treacherous, especially into Tuesday and Wednesday on up into the Ohio Valley and then again to the southwest. Weather on the go. Did you notice the expected ice threat moving further south within the last 24, 36-hour reports? And what do you... Yes, like I said earlier, the models have moved farther south with the ice. We're talking central and even parts of south central Texas now with potentially up to a quarter, half an inch of ice. That's why we have those winter storm warnings. And like I said earlier, those ice storm warnings across Arkansas into western portions of Tennessee, northwestern Mississippi, these areas. The winter storm warnings are no different really when you're talking about ice. Treat winter storm warnings into Texas and Oklahoma and these areas as ice storm warnings. Treat them the same. The National Weather Service forecast offices down into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, southeastern Oklahoma, and parts of southwestern Arkansas didn't issue an ice storm warning. They could have probably, but their criteria might be a little bit different down in those areas for what the expected accumulation of ice is and what they think will happen. So that's just why it's different alert down in those areas. But just treat the ice storm warnings into portions of Arkansas and western Tennessee the same like you would with a winter storm warning down into northeast Texas and southeastern Oklahoma. So very good question there. So January and now February is looking to yes, February is going to be mild for some rain, but I will be getting to that here in a few minutes. February is trending a lot colder, and I will tell you guys about that here in just a moment. February is not going to be a warm month, I don't think, for a lot of us. And again, I'll have reason to back that up here in just a few minutes, so stick around for that. Brad says the way it looks, it just may miss Ohio area. Feel bad for those in the path. Yeah, it looks like most of Ohio will be missed, which is good news. We don't want any ice for any areas. You know, it's very treacherous travel, but yes, it looks like a lot of Ohio is going to be missed. If you get any, it will be far southern Ohio there toward the Ohio River Valley into northern and northeastern Kentucky. Minus 40 degrees. Wow. Okay. So are you talking about southeastern Canada? Okay. Simon, thank you so much for joining and letting us know about that. Special K says, I'm taking I-20 instead of I-40 for sure. Well, I-20 is still going to be pretty bad too, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I-20, I-40, any of those interstates in western Tennessee, it doesn't matter what travel, what direction of travel you go. If you go west, farther west in Tennessee, the farther west you go toward Memphis or Jackson, Tennessee, it's going to get ugly out there with the icing. So just stay off the roads, and I promise you there's no route that you can take west of Nashville that's going to be any different than driving. You know, it's not going to be any different on any road. It's going to be icy everywhere. So just stay home and if you can, and stay off the roads unless you necessarily have to go out. Doug says, I'm in Memphis, so I'm watching closely. Yes, Memphis, you look to get a pretty decent ice storm. We're talking about up to 3/4 of an inch of ice, maybe even an inch of ice. This could overperform in the Memphis area. I'm really thinking a lot of the guidance I've been seeing earlier on has been showing some pretty decent icing. We're talking I think at half an inch of ice is your minimum that you get in Memphis. That is your minimum over the entirety of this ice event. So not just tonight, but I'm talking about the entirety of the ice storm through Wednesday evening. Your minimum ice accumulation in Memphis, I'm thinking, is half an inch, maximum probably up near an inch of ice. So just think about that. Like I said earlier, an inch of snow and then put an inch of ice next to that here if you have like a picture of it or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty significant. An inch of ice is nothing to laugh at. That is a lot of ice. It is going to look like an ice skating rink outside your door in Memphis there, I think, by Wednesday afternoon. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And you're going to see those trees being weighed down, probably a lot of snap tree branches. You're going to see a lot of icy roads out there. Ice is going to be covering your windshields, your cars. Yeah, it's going to be looking like a skating rink outside in Memphis there in western Tennessee by Wednesday afternoon, if it doesn't even already look like that on Tuesday. So just be mindful of that. So hopefully you guys have enough salt for the ice out there. Sherry says, good, great coverage. Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you so much, Sherry, for joining this evening. Definitely much appreciated. Now, guys, if you guys are just joining, make sure to press the like button down below. Let's try to get as many likes as possible, because if you guys like this live stream, it helps to get more and more people involved in this live stream, and it helps to get more of this information out to more people on YouTube. So if you guys press the like button, the thumbs up button down below the live stream, it helps save lives out there. It helps to inform people of all this dangerous weather, to say, hey, there's an ice storm coming. This is what you need to watch out for. So definitely press the like button, guys. It does go a long way to helping out, getting all that information out to more and more people. I definitely appreciate it. Subscribe too if you guys want to. Again, if you guys want to donate, I know I haven't said this already. You guys do not have to donate to the channel, but I do have super stickers and stuff like that down below as well. So if you guys want to send donations into the channel, helps this channel out as well. So definitely appreciate that. Again, you don't have to donate anything at all. You can just stay here for the coverage and not donate a dime. It doesn't matter to me. But if you want to support the channel, I just want to let you know that super stickers are down below, and it is much appreciated here if you would like to donate. You don't have to, though. All right, so let's see. So let's go ahead and, again, keep asking your questions. Keep if you guys have any concerns about anything, put them down in the live chat. I've went over several questions already. I'll get back to that here in a few minutes, but now we're going to move forward to a couple more things here to show you guys. So are you ready for the ice storm? So trim your weak or damaged branches. That should already be done around your home if you haven't already, to stay safe from your house there. Don't leave your vehicle wipers raised, because a lot of that heavy ice is going to break those wipers. That is for sure. And, have a week's worth of food and stuff like that. Water, food, prescriptions, all that stuff. So you guys have a stock supply of that through the ice storm, so you don't have to travel during the ice storm to get any of those necessities. Don't park your car under trees. This is a big deal. Do not park your vehicle under a tree, because if you're doing that, you're going to be risking branch falling in through your windshield or damaging your car in some way, especially with the heavy ice out there. So do not park your vehicle under the trees. And especially, guys, this is another big one. Keep your devices charged. Smartphones. We're talking, smartphones, laptops, tablets, all that stuff. Keep your devices charged through this week, especially through Wednesday. As long as you have power, because if you lose power, then we won't be able to communicate with you even through YouTube unless you have power with those devices. So definitely keep those devices charged up to near 90, 100%, stuff like that through the next few days. So now let's look at the liquid side of the system, the rainfall accumulation. So we talked about the ice out there. We'll get back to that here shortly. But now let's move ahead to the rain, because this will be a big deal as well. On the warm side of the system, we're going to see some showers, some thunderstorms, and heavy rain as well through this week. Now, this is from now through Saturday evening, spread out through the week, through the 4th of February. But this is your total rainfall accumulation through that time frame. We're talking some really heavy rain from East Texas, near Tyler, Texas, on up through Shreveport, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, and then on up here toward Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, to central and northern Alabama. We're talking about at least 2 inches worth of rain in these maroon red shaded colors, if not up to isolated spots, get up to 4 inches of rain going through that time frame. And then stretching over here, like I said and I mentioned earlier, yes, Atlanta, Georgia will be seeing heavy rain, some darker purples here. That's at least 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain, isolated amounts over 2 inches in Atlanta. That stretches over into the Carolinas here. So Columbia, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, getting down into Charleston, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia. Some of these coastal areas will be seeing some heavier rainfall around an inch to an inch and a half through this upcoming weekend. Some of that heavier rain spreads up into southern Virginia, but far less amounts into southern Virginia of heavy rain than we see farther west southwestward. So we're still seeing a half an inch at least of rainfall accumulation in southern Virginia, but we're seeing a lot heavier rain farther south. Getting into North Florida, so Orlando, Tampa, on up toward Tallahassee, Panama City, Jacksonville. Some of these areas will be seeing at least a half inch to an inch of rain as well. So definitely be mindful of that. This will be causing travel impacts as well, because you will have some flooding on the roadways at times, because we have that marginal to slight risk for flash flooding from the Weather Prediction Center. This is from Wednesday, the midweek, from Wednesday the 1st through Thursday the 2nd, with that accumulative rainfall here over the next few days. That's going to be causing some rises in rivers, creeks, and streams, also some ponding on the roadways. And by the time we get to late week on Thursday, February 2nd to Friday, February 3rd, now we're talking about a widespread area of at least slight risk for excessive rainfall and flash flooding. So scattered flash flooding possible here from central Louisiana through south central Mississippi, including the Jackson, Mississippi area, on up into central Alabama here. So Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, up into those areas, and then the Atlanta metro area into North Georgia and parts of the Western Carolinas up there toward Asheville, North Carolina. Some of those areas, we could be talking about some flash flooding, especially just think about the terrain up here into the Western Carolinas. We have the Smoky Mountains, the Appalachians, and stuff like that. You definitely want to be mindful of that, because a lot of that heavy rainfall will be flowing down the creeks and streams and around those mountainous terrains, and it could be moving in a hurry. That's why we call it flash flooding through like this week. Going through Friday, now we're starting to move toward the end of the week now. Friday, February 3rd, we're going to see some rainfall down across coastal southeast here, across coastal portions of Louisiana, Carolinas rather, from the Outer Banks of North Carolina down through Myrtle Beach, Charleston, Savannah, Georgia, and Jacksonville Beach as well. Unsettled weather on Friday. But for the rest of us in the middle of the country, a nice breath of relief through the end of the week. We're going to get rid of this ice storm, get rid of this storm as it moves farther east, and we're going to say hello to the high pressure across the middle of the country. More sunshine toward the end of the week for some of these areas. So a nice welcome sight after what we're seeing this week. That will continue into Saturday. Yes, lots more sunshine moving in across the middle of the country with the high pressure, Canadian high pressure system up here into the eastern Great Lakes, controlling our weather. A lot of colder temperatures on here as well. This is my next point, guys, because not only are we going to be talking about some ice, icing and some ice storms out there, we're going to be talking about some dangerous and extreme cold, guys. Now, I want to make you aware of this. If you live in the northern United States or the Northeast, these are your low temperatures waking up tomorrow morning. So you're getting ready for work, you're getting ready for school out there, and you got below zero temperatures up here into the Dakotas, Nebraska, into Wyoming, Minnesota, portions of northern Iowa, northern Illinois up there toward the Chicagoland area, Rockford, Illinois, farther north into Wisconsin, so Madison on up there toward Milwaukee, Green Bay. We're talking all those areas, double digits below zero air temperatures. That's without the wind chill waking up tomorrow morning for work or school. And looking at the wind chills out there, it's going to be brutal. We got 20 to 30 degrees below zero wind chills up here across the upper Midwest through Wisconsin, northern Illinois, getting into Iowa, Minnesota near the Twin Cities region, and then back west across the Dakotas, Nebraska, and Wyoming. And even some double digit below zero wind chills into western Kansas as well, near 20 below, starting off your Tuesday morning. So definitely bundle up out there if you guys are heading out to work or school on Tuesday morning. And we're only going to be seeing those wind chills, around 30 below for several hours. I mean, it's going to be several hour period. You can see up here toward the Highway 20 corridor in northern Illinois, I-80 in Illinois, northward, we're going to see 25 to 30 degrees below zero wind chills. That extends up into the north woods of Wisconsin through north central Iowa, including the Des Moines region. We could be waking up to a minus 22. And then farther north, Twin Cities, around 25 to 30 degrees below zero wind chills, waking up Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning, and we're only going to recover into the single digits above or below zero for highs Tuesday afternoon. So it's going to stay cold all day long for Tuesday afternoon, and those wind chills out there will stay below zero all day long across the upper Midwest here. We're talking double-digit below zero wind chills from 10 to 20 below all day across the upper Midwest. So northern Illinois, Wisconsin, northern Iowa, the Twin Cities region, including Minnesota, then back across the Dakotas and Nebraska here, and then even into Wyoming. All of these areas will see double-digit below zero wind chills through the entirety of the day on Tuesday, even in the peak daytime heating time frame during Tuesday afternoon. So definitely bundle up out there. Wear multiple layers if you do have to, going out the door through the day on Tuesday and even into Wednesday as well, as that cold does stick around. Now, moving up into the Northeast. Now, this is significant. Look at the temperature anomalies we're seeing going into this upcoming weekend. Now, we're a few days away, so there are some changes that could be made with this, but I do think the temperature anomaly has been there of about 25 degrees to 30 degrees below average, guys, going into Saturday morning this upcoming weekend. And look at these temperatures. These are just the temperatures, guys. These aren't the wind chills. We're 30 degrees below zero up here into parts of the Northeast and southeastern Canada. So Quebec down into eastern Ontario, Canada here in the Canadian provinces, we're going to be very cold. These are Fahrenheit air temperatures up here. And look at the wind chills, guys. This is incredible. Look at 61 degrees below zero wind chills up here into central Quebec, waking up Saturday morning this upcoming weekend. And as we zoom this in, these are your air temperatures. So pick out your spot in the Northeast through Maine, through Vermont, New Hampshire, getting into upstate New York, even down into New York City. We could be waking up to minus 10 for an air temperature on Saturday morning across New York City. Getting into Boston here, minus 16, minus 17. Cape Cod to Long Island, we're going to see double-digit below zero temperatures, low temperatures waking up Saturday morning. That extends farther southwest to northern New Jersey, northern portions of Pennsylvania here. We could be talking about those single digits below zero air temperatures waking up Saturday morning this upcoming weekend. And look at these brutal wind chills, guys. This is some dangerous stuff. We're talking 50 below zero up here into upstate New York for wind chills Saturday morning, 55 to even near 60 degrees below zero into northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and much of western Maine through the morning on Saturday. And look at that, even Boston, 40 degrees below zero in Boston waking up Saturday morning, western Massachusetts near 50 below. So, and even down here in New York City, 25 to 30 below waking up on Saturday morning. So definitely bundle up across the Northeast and look at how this is all we recover to Saturday afternoon. These are your high temperatures. Yeah, high temperatures near 15 to 20 below up here. That is your high temperature in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York, and all of southeastern Canada through the afternoon on Saturday. New York City, you're only going to recover to about 9 or 10 degrees. Boston, you're only warming up to about 0 to 2 degrees, and down here toward Pittsburgh, about 18 degrees for a high Saturday afternoon. And look at the wind chills. This is the warmest part of the day, Saturday afternoon, and we're seeing wind chills near 40 below still all the way through the day on Saturday into portions of Maine, northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and upstate New York, and even southeastern Canada. That's as the core of the polar vortex does move across the portions of southeastern Canada and swings across the Northeast here this upcoming weekend. So that is some good news there, that we will be starting to see more of warmer temperatures. That's the good news. What I was talking about just a minute ago is that we're going to see a rebound in the temperatures going in towards the following week. This is Monday, February 6th, and you can see toward the center of the country from the Midwest southward towards the Mississippi Delta region, we're going to be 10, 20 degrees above average getting into the middle of the country there, into the eastern two-thirds of the country going into early next week. That continues across the Northeast. So temperatures that are 30 degrees below average here this weekend. Just a few days later, we'll be 30 degrees above average in parts of these areas. So just a huge temperature swing going into the early next week on the 6th and 7th of February. And you can see that here with the potential high temperatures. Now, this is not an official forecast, but it does show you that we will be rebounding in a big way, melting some of the snow up here that we saw with our past winter storm and snowstorm across the Midwest, the lower Great Lakes, and the Ohio Valley, with these temperatures surging into the 40s up here to Chicago, central Illinois, the Ohio Valley, Columbus, Ohio, up near 50, 53 towards Louisville, Kentucky, down here to Dallas, Fort Worth, melting all the ice out there, 63 degrees. We're going to see 70s and 80s down here to South Florida on Monday. And then by the time we get into Tuesday, look at the difference, guys, with the temperatures from Saturday that I showed you to Tuesday. We're going to go from minus 16 up here for temperatures into northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire to mid 40s to near 50 just a couple of days later, early next week on Tuesday, February 7th. Just amazing stuff out there. And look at the 50s potentially surging up into the Ohio Valley. We could see 60 degrees for high temperatures in Charleston, West Virginia as we go into next Tuesday on February 7th. Just incredible swing in temperatures as we get through that time frame. Now, again, before I get to more questions out there, I know you guys have a lot of questions, comments, concerns. I will get to those here in just a moment again. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you for the super sticker and stuff like that. Definitely appreciate it. She says thank you. Thank you so much, Linda. You did not have to do that. I definitely appreciate your $20. Thank you so much, Linda, for your donation. Much appreciated. Everybody in the live chat down below, say thank you to Linda. Thank you so much for sending that in. Definitely appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, before I get to your comments, questions, and concerns, I will actually be showing you this real quick because we do have another storm system, I think, toward the first week in February. Now, this is far off, but I did want to show you the pattern is consistent there. Into the next, week or so for another trough to dig in across the center of the country here. You can see that dip in the jet stream. We have that subtropical jet activated into early next week on the 7th on Tuesday. And looking at the European forecast model Tuesday morning, right now it has the low pressure system up across the northwestern Great Lakes with all rain across the Midwest here for the most part, down into the mid-Mississippi Valley. Maybe we have to watch out for some severe weather. Like I said, we have all that warmth ahead of the system with that cold front swinging through. Yeah, we could be talking about some stronger storms and heavy rain up here into portions of the western Ohio Valley, into the mid-Mississippi Valley, and then down towards the Gulf of Mexico here on Tuesday. Then looking at the GFS model, really not that dissimilar. It's pretty similar here. On the GFS model output with that low a little farther north and has that cold front sneaking down through the western Ohio Valley, the lower Great Lakes, getting back into the southern plains near the Red River there on the GFS model here in this forecast. So that's what we're seeing. But looking into the second week in February, so this is going back to what Rain Maves was showing. He says that we're going to see a lot of warm conditions through February. Now, the reason why I disagreed with that is because, yes, we're going to see warmer conditions across the eastern two-thirds of the country to start February, but look back to the west, across the southwestern United States. We have a lot of troughs digging in across the west coast and the Pacific Southwest, Southern California, into the desert Southwest and the Four Corners region in through February 13th. But we also have an active storm track during that period as well. So that's some good news because we are seeing a lot of drought building up across the Great Plains. We're talking the severe, extreme, and exceptional drought, especially in these darker reds into Nebraska, especially getting into western Kansas. I know it is bone dry in western Kansas right now, and then down into northwest Texas. We definitely need more rain here, even out west into California, Nevada, and Oregon, and even up here into portions of Montana, Utah. I know all these areas need rainfall. We hope to get some as we get in towards the first couple of weeks in February. But I did want to show you this, though. This is your La Nina index here, and right now we're hovering back and forth near a moderate La Nina. We've been doing that all the way back to November, and even before this chart, you can see here all the way back into October, we have been into a moderate La Nina status, and this is trending neutral as we get towards early spring. So as we get towards late February, March, and April, this is trending more towards zero. So that's ENSO neutral type of conditions, and then we might flip back to at least a weak El Nino as we get through the late spring and summer, but it's a little far off to know for sure. But one thing is for sure, here is a map that I spent a lot of time putting together, looking at some of the data and kind of circling some of the areas that overlap with what I think could happen here with their temperatures through February. So going back to what Rain Mave said, and a lot of people said there's going to be a warm February. Well, yes, to some degree, it'll be warm and mild across the eastern 2/3 of the country, but I don't think overall it will be a warm February when you average it all out together through the entirety of the month. And the reason I say that, we have well above average temperatures, I think, across the Ohio Valley here into the mid-Atlantic from February 1st through the 10th, and above normal across most of the eastern United States. So if you're hoping for snow in the first week or two of February, it may be pretty hard to come by across the eastern 2/3 of the country. Back to the west, near normal to below normal across the West Coast and the Pacific Southwest. We're talking Oregon, parts of Idaho, Nevada here into California, into Southern California, below normal during this time frame. But as we go into that second, third week in February, now we're getting into the middle of the month, we still have those above average temperatures here from the East Coast down through the Southeast, with that stubborn Southeast ridge that does not want to leave us. That is going to continue across the eastern part of the country. But look to the west, guys. Below normal temperatures favored across the West Coast, near normal in between. I do think we'll have an active storm track originating down here into the panhandle of Texas and moving up through the temperature gradient through the western Ohio Valley and central Great Lakes into the late second week in February into the third week in February there. And I do think we could have some snow on the northwest side of that, somewhere up into the northern plains, the central plains, or the upper Midwest, and even the western Great Lakes during that period with these low pressure systems, these Texas hook type of low pressure systems. Why we say a Texas hook low pressure is because it develops off the Rockies, moves southeast toward Texas Panhandle, and then hooks its way left up here and towards the Ohio Valley as we head towards the middle of February. Now, here's why I said it's not going to be a warm February. And again, you're probably thinking, well, you showed most of the February being warm across the eastern 2/3 of the country. Well, that's not wrong. But I do think this cold is going to be so significant at the end of the month from February 21st through the 28th timeframe that overall the entirety of the month will be colder than normal across at least the north and the northeast. So I'm trending well below normal up here. So the Dakotas into Minnesota and Wisconsin, back through Michigan and southeastern Canada, get ready. Another blast of very cold air. Possibly our most significant cold air punch of the season could be in towards late February here, and then that could extend farther south into the Missouri Valley, the Ohio Valley, and the East Coast. So if you want snowfall in New York City, if you want snowfall in Boston, New Jersey, into Pennsylvania, this is the type of pattern you want to look for, and that looks to occur potentially into late February. We'll be setting our temperatures back well below normal. And then we will start to stomp on the ridge across the southeast, and we'll push that farther south across the immediate Gulf Coast from Texas through Louisiana here, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. And that could extend at times on up through the Carolinas, and then across the Southwest, just kind of some near normal conditions. It could be either or really across the Southwest. I think it may be trending warmer at times, but I think near normal across California, Nevada here, and the Pacific Southwest during that period. So if you guys have any questions on anything I did say, I'm going to open it up to a kind of a Q&A. I know I've answered a few questions already, but I'm going to open it up to kind of a question and answer type of stuff. So I know a lot of people have stuff to say on here. So let me go back up toward the top here and see what everybody is saying. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, drop them down in the live chat. I'll be with you for several more minutes here and probably for quite a while this evening still to talk about this ice storm, the cold in the Northeast that I was talking about, the active storm track and cold air in February and stuff like that. If you guys have any comments about that, drop them down in the live chat. And again, thank you so much again to Linda for sending in the $20. Definitely much appreciated. Thank you so much. Let me go back up here. Again, if I skip your question, just ask it again. I'm trying to get to everybody's. I don't know exactly where I left off. So when is it going to be cold in Miami? March? Well, Miami, you're too far south. Or unless you're talking about like a different state with a city named Miami. I think into portions of... Actually, I'm going to put this back so you guys can see. I'm going to put the screen back to where the weather alerts are. So if you guys, this is the most updated alerts that I have on here. Do you guys want me to keep this on this ice accumulation map to where you can see how much ice you could see, or do you want me to put it back to the weather alerts map? I could do that as well. Just let me know. There's all the weather alerts out there. You can see in the key in the bottom where you have winter weather advisories in the purple, pink shaded colors, winter storm warnings. Treat those like ice storm warnings. And then you have the ice storm warnings in the violet colors across western Tennessee, far northwestern Mississippi, into central Arkansas, including Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis, Jackson, Tennessee, and toward Little Rock, Arkansas. Again, if you guys are just here and have not yet pressed the like button, press the like button, guys. Might as well. You guys are here in the live stream. All you got to do is press 2 buttons, guys. Press the like button down below and subscribe, and you guys get all my daily weather forecast updates on this channel as well. And you help to get more of this weather information out to more and more people. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes, guys, in this live stream. If you guys can help me out to getting to 1,000 likes, I would definitely appreciate that. So thank you to everybody. Let's see if we can do it. I know you guys can help me out. So let's get to the questions here this evening. Let's see here. The storm is going to be moving towards Miami, but it's not going to be, you're not seeing freezing rain in Florida. That's not going to happen. You're going to see rainfall, if anything, in Miami. So we're not seeing anything crazy like that down there. Lexington, Kentucky, you guys are under a winter weather advisory. If you guys see here, and I will show you with my pointer on here. This is the pointer I use. And to central Kentucky, that's a winter weather advisory. If you see down here in the key, that's purple, winter weather advisory. That's for at least a light glaze of ice to maybe up to around 0.2 of an inch of ice, some very light snowfall, less than an inch up here. So definitely watch out for that in Lexington, Kentucky. Just a little bit of ice can go a long way in making the roadway slick out there, just so you guys know that. Is the ice storm going to East Texas? Yes, East Texas. There's going to be parts of East Texas that have some icing. Near and west of Tyler, Texas, for a time, there are winter weather advisories in East Texas here, as you can see on the map. Also, winter storm warnings. That does also include the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and the I-20 corridor in East Texas. So watch out for that. Is there any snow for East Texas? No, it's going to be all rain, or it's going to be freezing rain for the most part. So no snow in Texas here with this storm for the most part. This is going to be an ice storm exclusively. I came in late. How will travel be from South Dakota to Texas over to Arizona? From South Dakota to, what did it say here? Just a moment. From South Dakota to Texas. Well, if you're traveling from South Dakota all the way to Kansas, you'll be fine. Once you get to Oklahoma and Texas, it's going to get tricky. I would strongly discourage you traveling through Oklahoma or Texas through Wednesday, because if you're traveling from South Dakota to Texas, by the time you get into the Oklahoma City metro area, it's going to go downhill quickly with the heavy ice accumulations and even some snow mixing into northern Oklahoma, and then farther south from there, it's going to get even icier into North Texas. But if you're traveling from, say, South Dakota to Arizona, well, then you are going to be, for the most part, A-okay, because you see there's not many alerts out here, and that system's farther east. So if you're traveling from South Dakota to Arizona, from there straight to Arizona, like Phoenix or anything like that, you should be fine. You may encounter some mountain snowfall across the Colorado Rockies here, back into the upper elevations of the Southwest, but that's, nothing they haven't seen through the year. Just take it slow out there if you have to do that. Yes, Matthew Wallace says snow and ice. Yes, that is what we're seeing. Mainly just an ice storm with the system. This is not going to be a major snowmaker, just mainly a huge crippling ice maker, to say the least, across these areas here. From the southern plains through the mid-Mississippi Valley, the Arklatex, and then on up into the southern Ohio Valley and parts of the mid-Atlantic with this system. Tyler, Texas. Yeah, Tyler, Texas. You're right on the border here between winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories, and you even have some flood watches down here. So it's going to go back and forth, I think, with freezing rain and rain in Tyler, Texas. So you might have freezing rain for a couple of hours, then it might go back to some regular old rain here, and then go back to freezing rain, and vice versa. You might have some sleet mixing in at times, and maybe a couple snowflakes. But I don't think it's going to be overall a snowmaker or a sleet maker. It's going to be more of a rainmaker or a freezing rainmaker. So ice is a big deal, I think, even in Tyler, Texas, and then on westward and across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Yeah, it snowed in North Texas here. It's so cold. Yeah, it's pretty chilly down there into Texas, and that's why we're seeing the icy conditions across those areas. Will it snow in Memphis? I'm not. No, Memphis. You are under an ice storm warning, and the name is in there. Yes, ice. You're going to see a lot of ice in Memphis. You're not seeing that much snow. If you do, it's going to be a couple flurries or a couple light snow showers. But yeah, it's going to be exclusively freezing rain and sleet in Memphis for the next couple of days through Wednesday. You're under an ice storm warning for at least a quarter of an inch of ice. And like I said earlier, I think the minimum all through the next couple of days from now through Wednesday, the minimum ice accumulation I'm looking at for Memphis is at least a half inch, and it could be up to an inch, a solid inch of ice. It could look like literally a skating rink by Wednesday afternoon in Memphis, Tennessee. So definitely keep it, being safe out there and tuning into the weather forecast if you can. Keep all your devices charged, smartphones, tablets, laptops, all that stuff, to stay up to date on the latest weather conditions through the next couple of days. Again, guys, just tuning in, press the like button down below. We're almost to 200 likes. Let's try and get it up to 1,000 likes this evening, guys. Definitely much appreciated. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can do it, guys. I know you guys can help me out. Kimmy says, thank you. Will Texas be okay this weekend? Yes, it's looking pretty nice this weekend here. Let me scoot ahead to this weekend. I'm sorry I'm moving this so quick. I'm trying to answer some questions here. Yeah, this weekend, looking at Friday for Texas, high pressure will be working in, so we're not worried about any precipitation. Friday in Texas, Saturday you're A-OK, no precipitation in Texas there, and I think Sunday will be much of the same. So yeah, behind this system, we're going to see a lot more high pressure systems working back into the picture by that point in time. Larry says Cincinnati, Ohio, between 4 and 6 a.m. Are you talking about freezing drizzle? Then that's possible. I don't know if since up into Ohio, you're not going to see much in the way of freezing rain. If you see up here from now through Wednesday evening, you're seeing mainly very light glaze of ice, and that might be pushing it across southern Ohio. I think the heavier ice accumulation will be in Kentucky, and then more so back into western middle Tennessee there from Nashville on westward and toward Jackson, Tennessee. And towards Memphis, Tennessee, Paducah, Kentucky, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Arkansas, all these areas will be in line for more of the heavier ice accumulations. Yeah, so keep the questions coming, guys. If you guys still have questions out there, comments, concerns, drop them down below. I will try to get as many as I can. I know they're coming in fast and furious this evening. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. Again, just joining me, press that like button, guys. I know I keep saying it. Don't want to sound like a broken record, but let's try so hard. Let's try so hard to get to 1,000 likes, guys. Let's try to press the like button as many times as we can. It helps to get so much more of this information out to more and more people, guys, and it helps save lives, and it really helps to keep people informed here on this channel, on this live stream. Weather says, missing my question, will it be any snow, storm, Outer Banks? No, you're not going to see any snow in North Carolina. That southeast ridge is going to stay stubborn, like I said, through probably the second week in February. So anything you get in North Carolina, for the most part, you could see some freezing rain at times through the second week in February. But if you see any precipitation, it's going to probably be mostly in the form of rainfall into North Carolina, the Outer Banks especially. So yeah, that southeastern ridge is going to be locked in place through the next couple of weeks, really through the second week in February. So I'm not really concerned about snowfall there. Papa Bear says, howdy from Hill Country, Texas. Well, thank you for joining from Hill Country, Texas. Much appreciated. If you live in the Hill Country down here that's getting a lot of ice, then you might want to stay home because it's very, very yeah, man, it's going to be a rough go of it, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like I said, I can't say this enough. If you do not have to be on the roads this week, especially through Wednesday evening, do not be on the roads in Texas, southeastern Oklahoma or central Oklahoma on up through Memphis or even Little Rock, all that stuff. Just don't be on the roads, guys. It's just going to be too dangerous out there. Ice is dangerous. I mean, it really is. Freezing rain is one of the most dangerous types of precipitation besides hail. So you want to be taking this very seriously. I know a lot of people were saying, well, when I was saying a few days ago, not to criticize anybody, but just a few days ago, a lot of people were saying, well, this ice storm's not going to really happen. It's all hype and all this stuff. Well, we're seeing it come to fruition now, aren't we? And it's here now, and now we got to deal with it. So, and that's why we, as weather forecasters on YouTube or anywhere else, we like to push the message. We like to push the message out farther in advance, so you guys have an accurate lead time. So you can say, hey, well, later this week we might have an ice storm, or later this week we might have a snowstorm. So we like to push the message out farther in advance as possible with still being accurate. So you guys have as much warning as possible before this system moves in. So everybody that thinks this storm's all hype, think again, because you're talking to millions of people down here that are going to be affected by this in some shape or form, whether it's driving on the roads if you have to, or power outages, or just a lot of stuff like that, broken tree branches. Just think about that. And when you're saying that this storm is all hype, because it really isn't. It's really happening. Just because you live in North Dakota and it's not icy there doesn't mean it's not icy in Texas. So just be mindful of that when you're saying it's a hype storm. So just to not criticize anybody, but I've seen a lot of people over the last few days saying this storm's hype, and everybody's jumping on the hype train. And no, this is a real thing happening. So I just wanted to put that out there. Let's see. Vincent says, tell a New Yorker to come to Florida. Why is that? Is it because it's cold in New York? Cold and snowy? Is that why? How is the weather for March in East Texas? Well, it's too far in advance. I'll be putting my spring forecast out, like I said, the second week in February. So about February 8th to February 10th time frame. You guys can check that out. I'll be putting that out into the second week in February. So if you want to know about March, April, or May, I'm still putting that together as of now. I should have that done by the second week in February. It takes a lot of research, a lot of time, and a lot of model data and analogs and a bunch of other stuff to look at to put a whole forecast together for, let alone a month, but for 3-month period, March, April, and May. It takes a lot of time to put a forecast together for that. So bear with me. I'll have that out in the next couple of weeks here. And I promise you guys will have that by probably at the latest February 10th or so. So again, another reason to subscribe to the channel, guys. You get some longer range weather forecasts on this page. So definitely a way to take advantage of that is to subscribe down below. Again, we're almost up to 200 likes, guys. So just joining, press the like button. Thank you so much for joining. Keep asking your questions down below. Simon says, well said. Well, thank you so much, Simon. What's the app called? The app for what? I don't know what you're talking about. With what app? I'm not exactly what you're talking about, Angel. Rain Maves keeps on. He's strong opinionated on the mild February continuing. Well, I agree with you with respects to the mild February across the East Coast. Places across the North are going to be disagreeing with you. So, and when you average the entirety of the month of February out, I do think the February across most of the United States is going to be largely colder than normal. So even if you have, okay, let me put an example out for you guys that are watching right now. So if you guys have 50 and 60 degree high temperatures every single day from February 1st through February 15th, right? In say Columbus, Ohio, or like Lexington, Kentucky, you have 50 degrees every single day, every single one of those days, 15 days in a row. And then all of a sudden you have a huge cold blast that comes down from Canada, and you have temperatures that are 8 to 10 degrees the rest of the month through the 16th through the 28th of February, while it's only the second half of the month, and you're saying, well, it's kind of half and half. Well, if the colder air is so cold, it's going to shift that average to below normal, because the colder the air is, the more it's going to shift that average around. So you know what I'm saying? So if that makes sense to you guys. So, like, for example, if you have 50 degrees, like I said, for the first couple weeks in Lexington, Kentucky, and then it turns to minus 20 for the rest of the month for wind chills, then it would trend colder than normal. And right now, that's what I'm seeing. I think the late portion of February, we're going to see another polar vortex disruption or stratospheric warming event again. And that's going to be leading to a lot of cold air. And if it's not late February, and I could be wrong, and it probably will be into early March. So I think another one of these polar vortex disruptions or stratospheric warming events will be, excuse me, will be around the horizon in the near future in the next few weeks. So. Let's see. Nothing in Southern California yesterday, last night, and today. Yeah, it's going to be dry in California for the most part. All the precipitation is really up across. Say here, let me show you this real quick. I know I'm moving through pretty quick. So here in California, we're talking about more of the heavy rain into northern and maybe central California at times. Southern California, you're bone dry through this, even through this week, and then getting into next week. And this is Friday, February 3rd, and then into Saturday, February 4th. A lot of the rain is going to be up into the coastal regions of western Washington state, getting into Oregon, into northwestern California coast there. Central and southern California by next weekend will probably be enlarged, pretty dry, with that steering high pressure system in place across those areas. So anyone else here from Chicago? I live a few hours away from Chicago. I'm from the Midwest, so yes, I'm somewhat nearby. Yeah, Chicago. They haven't seen a lot of snow this year. I know if you're talking about that, there's a lot of snow droughts this year. I know New York City's barely gotten any snow, if any, really this year. And like I said, with this ridge in place, let me show you this again. With this ridge in place going in towards the first half of February, I'm just not seeing a lot of colder temperatures. I mean, when you see temperatures that are above normal, well above normal, I put this together myself just looking at a lot of model data, and it took me a few days to do this, but to get it ready for my live stream. But yeah, I really do think well above normal, at least for New York City on west southwestward for the first 10 days in February. That continues, including New York City, all the way through really the 20th of the month. So we're just seeing a lot of warmer temperatures across the east. But then that cold blast looks to come back late February or very early March, I think. And again, that's far away, but I do think it comes back. There's been a lot of consistency in the models on this, so that is what is going on there. Chester says our weather is wrong. Henderson, Kentucky is getting sleet and ice. Well, no, that's what we're seeing in Kentucky is ice. Let me go back and show you. We have winter weather advisories in effect. Yeah, there's the ice accumulation from now through Wednesday evening into Kentucky. And no, it's not wrong. It's there. Ice and sleet is the forecast into Kentucky through Wednesday evening. Oh, weather channels are calling it snow. Well, there will be some snow with this. It's just not a lot. There's probably like here's the snowfall forecast, and you can hardly see really anything. I mean, southern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas, through really the Ohio River Valley here, through Louisville, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, Carbondale, Illinois, Paducah, Kentucky. If you see any snow there, it'll be up to an inch, maybe an inch and a half, and that might be pushing it, but I don't really think that this is not going to be a snowstorm by any stretch of the imagination. This is going to be exclusively an ice storm with this setup. We're almost to 200 likes, guys. Let's see if we can get to 200 likes here in the next few minutes. We only need 7 more people to like the live stream down below with that thumbs up button to get to 200. So let's see if we can do that here in the next couple of minutes. Again, our goal is 1,000 likes. So if you guys haven't liked it down below, helps to get all this information out to more and more people. Subscribe to the YouTube channel down below as well. And if you guys want to donate to the channel, if you're new and don't know about this, I do have super stickers down below as well. So if you want to donate to the channel, you do not have to. But if you would like to, you guys can do that as well. I'm never going to force anybody to donate anything to my channel. That's not my job. My job is to give you a weather forecast that's accurate. And again, across Canada, the United States, the tropics, all that, you guys can get all of my daily coverage on that every morning at 9 a.m. I put a video out every day, and you guys can see that on my channel every single day at 9 in the morning. So thank you for everybody who supports the channel. And again, big thanks to Linda from earlier. Linda did, she sent in $20, so definitely a big appreciation to Linda. Yeah, thank you so much, Legendary Leon. Yes, 200 guys. Thank you so much. Yes, we're up over 200. Thanks for everybody pressing that like button down below. It's very much appreciated. It really is, because the more likes we get, the more this helps get all this weather information out to more people on this channel. So it really is a big deal. I want to get as much of this information out to as many people as possible. So the only way YouTube allows us to do that is to get more likes, and it spreads it out amongst more people that can, come onto the channel here and watch. So Colby says, think the storm could move more up north and east over the next 12 to 24 hours and hit northwest Arkansas harder with ice. Mostly central Arkansas had sleet. Nothing as of now. Well, it's going to come in waves. It's not going to be a solid. It's like, okay, so if you guys are thinking this is going to be an ice storm, it's going to be an ice storm. But if it's going to be, freezing rain from now nonstop all the way through Wednesday, that's not going to happen. There's going to be waves of precipitation. You can see. I'll show you now. You have one wave moving through this evening. That'll move up into the western and southwestern Ohio Valley through the overnight hours. Then maybe some freezing drizzle on and off through central North Texas overnight into Tuesday morning. Mid-morning Tuesday, we got our second wave of precipitation moving up across the Red River here, southern Oklahoma, getting into northern portions of Texas, central Texas. This includes the I-20 corridor. Dallas-Fort Worth down to San Antonio. Then that moves up into the portions of Memphis and central Kentucky, or central Arkansas and northeast Kentucky, northeastern Arkansas. Man, I'm getting tired. 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. And then that stretches up here farther east, northeast into the Ohio Valley. Then our third wave, our most significant wave, moves in by the time we get into mid-morning on Wednesday. And again, that's putting it all together. That's how much ice we could be seeing. 1/4 of an inch, upwards of 3/4 of an inch, and I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, from DFW Metroplex through Little Rock or Memphis, Jackson, Tennessee, some of these areas could be at most seeing up to an inch of ice from this system, so definitely very significant. Angel says, how is the weather for the morning for East Texas? I think the weather for the morning in East Texas tomorrow morning, we're going to see some freezing drizzle. It's going to be anywhere from sprinkles, liquid rainfall, to freezing drizzle in the morning. And then going through mid-morning, it's mainly I-20 on west is where we have to concern ourselves about freezing drizzle. But still watch it in East Texas. Again, some of these models have been trending colder. So some of this freezing rain could be farther east than what this model shows. And again, it's one model run, so we'll continue to watch that through tomorrow morning. But yes, some freezing drizzle and rainfall will be out there in East Texas tomorrow. No, Miami's not getting snow. You guys are not getting snow in Miami, Florida. It's not going to happen. Sorry about that. You live well too far south for snow in Miami, Florida. If you're talking about Miami, Florida, no, you're not getting any snow. If you want snow in Miami, you're going to have to move about 500 miles farther northwest than that or more. So, but do you see it staying the worst in central Arkansas, or could the model end up trending more north and east and hit northwest Arkansas worse? I'm seeing it farther south and east. The worst of it, I think, is with those ice storm warnings. So we're still seeing winter storm warnings here across portions of southern Missouri and northwest Arkansas. So we're still seeing, like I said before, treat these winter storm warnings like ice storm warnings. It's necessarily pretty much the same thing. It's just the National Weather Service forecast offices have different criteria in which they put the alerts out. So whether it's a winter weather advisory, a winter storm warning, ice storm warning, this is mainly all for ice, maybe some snow accumulation on the northern side of these alerts along with the ice. But yeah, northwest Arkansas, I'm thinking it's going to be pretty significant as well. And if you look at the model output, at least with this, portions of northwest Arkansas, we'll still see up to around a quarter of an inch, maybe half inch of ice. So still pretty significant. I mean, a quarter to half inch ice is still going to topple over the trees a little bit. The power lines will have a lot of ice accretion on them. Could have some power outages into northwest Arkansas as well. So Fort Smith area up there, northwest of Little Rock, still could have some scattered power outages. And yeah, very slick travel still in northwest Arkansas. But yeah, I think the worst of it though is from central Texas through eastern Arkansas into western Tennessee as it looks right now. But again, it won't take much of a deviation in the track to move this a little farther northwest. But either way, a quarter to half an inch of ice is still a lot of ice. So it really doesn't matter either way. So hopefully that answers your question out there. Again, keep pressing that like button, guys. We're already getting closer to 300 likes, guys. So let's keep doing it. Let's try to get to 1,000 likes here in this live stream. Much appreciated. Everybody joining. If you're joining, might as well. Everybody press the like button down below, guys. If you're just joining and you guys are watching the live stream, you might as well just press the like button. All you got to do is click it one time, hit the subscribe button one time, and you're in. You get all of my daily weather forecast updates, all the live streams as well by hitting the notification bell, all those things you can do by just hitting 2 or 3 simple buttons down below, guys. That's all you got to do. I promise you. And it's all free. It's all free. So, is Jacksonville, Texas in a flood watch? I'm not exactly sure where Jacksonville, Texas is. Well, if you're in East Texas, you're under a flood watch there from Tyler, Texas on east. And mainly that's near the Shreveport area and the northern portions of Louisiana. That's under the flood watch. Far East Texas is under a flood watch, but I'm not exactly sure where Jacksonville, Texas is. Yeah, some of the smaller towns, I'm not exactly sure where they are, but I can kind of pinpoint some of the bigger towns. I had to look up where the smaller towns are because I don't live in that area. I live in the Midwest, and even some of the Midwestern cities, I really don't even know some of the smaller towns either. So I apologize about that. Mark says, on my honeymoon, I made a trail of Cheetos leading. What is that supposed to mean? I don't know if I should have really. I don't. Okay. What does that have to do about weather though? It doesn't have anything to do about weather. Guys, just try to keep the comments about weather, please, on this chat. I know a lot of people are jokesters on here, and I'm a jokester myself, but just try to keep the comments about weather-related stuff on the chat. Is it going to snow in Tyler, Texas? No, this is not going to snow in Tyler, Texas. It's going to be either rain or freezing rain. Maybe some sleet mixing in, but no, the snow is going to be well far north, and like I said before, it's not going to be that much. So we're not looking at anything crazy for snow in those areas. That's for sure. Nothing like that. This is not going to be a big snowstorm at all by any stretch of the imagination. So. Yeah, guys, we're almost to 20,000 subscribers on my channel. We're at 19,961 subscribers, guys. We're on the road to 25,000, which is the ultimate goal within the next couple of weeks. So if you guys haven't subscribed, press the subscribe button. We need 39 more people to subscribe to get to 20,000 subscribers on the channel tonight. Let's see if we can do that tonight. Get to 20,000 subscribers. That would be much appreciated. So everybody who has not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below, guys. We need 39 more people for this to be at 20,000 subscribers tonight. Let's see if we can do it. And I'm here to answer all your questions that I can. I know some of you guys are getting ready for bed and stuff like that. It's about 7:30 Central Time, so again, we'll be. I'll be wrapping this up fairly soon, but again, I'll be here for a while to answer some of your questions. How much ice for Central Arkansas? Central Arkansas, you guys are going to see just through tomorrow afternoon about a tenth to 2/10 of an inch of ice. And then going through the entirety of the event from now through Wednesday night, you're going to see anywhere from a quarter of an inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice into Central Arkansas there. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure about school in Tyler, Texas tomorrow, Angel. I'm not sure about that. I'm not aware of any school. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of school closings and delays and stuff like that across the Southern Plains and stuff like that, but I'm not aware of any of that right now. I drove in snow today, my first time in snow. I was so nervous. Well, yeah, it's the only way to get better at it is to do it, to drive in the snow and the ice and stuff. I mean, there's no way to get ready to drive through ice. I mean, you gotta and the thing about ice is that if you drive over ice and, for example, you hit the brakes really hard, you're gonna slide all over the place, and really, it's dangerous. I mean, you don't want to drive in ice anyway. So, but yeah, there's no real way to get used to driving on ice. You just drive on it or you don't, to be quite honest with you. So, ice is just that dangerous, to be honest. Is it going to snow in Chicago this weekend? No, this upcoming weekend it is going to be very quiet in Chicago. I'll have an update on the weather forecast here at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, a new video. So another reason to subscribe, guys. But yeah, I think this week in Chicago it's going to be pretty dry. We're not seeing any snow in Chicago this week. A lot of sunshine up there in the Chicagoland area, though. High pressure working in. I know it's been pretty gloomy, pretty cloudy in Chicago lately. Gloomy skies and gray skies up there. We're going to see a lot of sunshine. We did today. You should have saw a lot of sunshine in Chicago today. We're going to see much of the same through tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday before the clouds come back this upcoming weekend a little bit with some mixed sunshine. But other than that, besides some mixed sunshine and partly sunny or partly cloudy skies, we're going to see quiet weather in Chicago through this weekend. You're so welcome. Yeah, you're welcome for answering your question. No problem. How about Clarksville, Tennessee? Yes, Clarksville, Tennessee. Now, I think that's in western Tennessee. Again, I'm not too familiar with that. I've been to Tennessee quite a few times. I've been near Nashville and stuff like that, but let me see exactly where Clarksville is. I know that's another bigger city there. Okay, that's in far northwest Tennessee, northwest of Nashville there. You guys are under you guys look like I think you're right on the border there between a winter weather advisory and an ice storm warning. So what you can expect there for ice accumulation in Clarksville is I would expect anywhere from a quarter of an inch to up to 3/4 of an inch of ice. So very significant ice storm to unfold, not only through overnight tonight, but getting through the day. And I think the worst of the days for Clarksville, Tennessee will be tomorrow and Wednesday. So stay off the roads then and you'll be safe. And then you can hopefully drive on the roads on Thursday. But yeah, Clarksville, Tennessee, I think around half an inch of ice on average is a pretty good bet for you. Maybe up to as much as 3/4 of an inch of ice, maybe as low as a quarter of an inch. But yeah, half an inch of ice is a good bet for you in Clarksville, Tennessee. So stay off the roads up there. Very dangerous. Thank you for asking that question too, Dana. Much appreciated. Same thing with driving around tornadoes. Yes. Well, I mean, ice is a whole different thing, but yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, not much snow in Chicago. You're welcome for answering your question, but yeah, there looks like the parade of snowstorms in Chicago is shut off for the foreseeable future. I think toward the middle of February, our fortunes could change. I know Chicago is they haven't had a lot of snow, not too much lake effect snow. A lot of the lake effect snow has been in the Indiana and Michigan side of things along the Lake Michigan shoreline. It's not really been in Chicago proper. I know they're in a big snow drought in Chicago, and hopefully you guys can see that pretty soon here. I know you have all of February, and sometimes you get some decent snows in March, and even sometimes early April you can get some snow in Chicago. We'll just have to see how that pans out. But yeah, it looks like we're talking about more rain systems in Chicago rather than snow in the next 7 to 10 days if we get any weather. So that's what we're seeing. Yeah, don't be doing that, Dennis. You don't need to be going drifting. And the ice is so much more different than snow. You don't want to be doing that tomorrow. You're so welcome, Dana. You're so welcome. Thanks for asking. I forgot. I'm sorry I forgot about Clarksville, Tennessee. I should have remembered. That's another pretty populous area. It's pretty populated up there in the northwest Tennessee. That's right along Interstate 24, if I believe, that extends up there toward Paducah. So yeah, if you're driving I-40 from Nashville and then I-40 from Nashville down there towards Memphis, it's going to be a rough go of it. If you're traveling from Nashville northwest on I-24 toward Clarksville to Paducah, Kentucky, it's going to be a rough go of it. Yeah, just a lot of these areas, it's going to be tough. Even I-65, maybe south of Nashville, could get some ice as well. Could be rough go of it there as well. So just be mindful of that. Kevin says, "Will for some reason my phone just had all of the comments on here, and all of the comments went away for some reason. Just one moment." Will New Jersey ever get snow this winter? Well, good question. Well, let me look here toward the end of my slides, because if you guys are just joining here, and again, watch out for this extreme cold in the Northeast too. 60 degrees below zero wind chills at the coldest this Saturday morning, and that's no hype. There's 50 to 60 degrees below zero wind chills. I fully expect wind chill warnings to be hoisted up here into New England and southeastern Canada here late this week for this weekend's wind chills. It's going to be very cold. We're talking some dangerous wind chills, and I'll have more on that in my video tomorrow. But to answer the question about will there be any snow, well, the official 8 to 14 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center shows above average temperatures from February 7th through the 13th and into the second week in February, also above normal precipitation. But it looks like mainly it could fall as rainfall rather than snow. So we'll continue to watch that. But again, I did all this research. I put these maps together myself, and I do think that well above normal temperatures will favor the East Coast and the Southeast through probably February 20th, to be quite honest with you. A lot of warmer conditions with the stubborn ridge of high pressure across the Southeast really through the end of February before we start to flip over toward the last week in February, maybe early March here. Again, it's a little far out, so we'll have to watch, wait and see on this. But we could see some snow in New Jersey by the end of the month. But any big meaningful snow accumulations I really don't see it through much of February, really, for New Jersey. So we'll have to wait and see, unless we have some type of weather pattern the models aren't picking up right now. I just really don't see big snows right now for the area, unfortunately. Yeah, you're welcome, Dana. Anything brewing for the Florida Panhandle to New Orleans? A lot of heavy rainfall. A lot of heavy rainfall. Here's the rainfall output. I'm sorry, I'm just like scrolling back and forth through my slides, guys. I'm just kind of showing the different slides for people that ask specific questions. Yeah, so for Thursday into Friday, there could be some flash flooding there from New Orleans over to the northwest Florida. So from Panama City, Mobile, Alabama, southern Mississippi, and New Orleans, southern Louisiana there could be some freezing rain. Or sorry, some rainfall. I'm getting all messed up now. All rainfall late this week from Thursday into Friday. So that's the second into the third time frame. Some very heavy rain. When all said and done, we could be talking about anywhere from 1 to 2 inches back here northwest of New Orleans into northwest Florida Panhandle. So it started to rain, freezing rain here in Tyler, Texas. Oh, it is right now, freezing rain? Okay. Is that what you're saying? Dana says near Fort Campbell. Is that in northwestern Tennessee? Is that what you're talking about, Dana? Weather says, can't wait for spring forecasts. Will I see coldest spring on record or a normal one? Um, I'm not. I'm really still just putting it together, so you'll just have to wait and see on that. To be honest with you. Do you think the Arctic blast is coming back in March? I do think there's a solid chance that it comes back, and if it doesn't come back in late February like I was forecasting, I think early March is a good time frame for it. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I think March could be cold, but right now it's too far away. We're not even into February yet, so we'll wait and see on that. I'll be putting my spring forecast out in the second week in February, around the February 8th through 10th time frame or thereabout. So for March, April, and May. So stick around for that. Another reason to subscribe to the channel, guys. All right, so it looks like we got some new subscribers, guys. We're only 28 subscribers away from hitting 20,000 subscribers. So if you guys are one of the 28 people out there that have not yet subscribed, please, please, please hit the subscribe button. Let's see if we can hit 20,000 subscribers on my channel this evening here. My ultimate goal is to reach 25,000 subscribers by late next weekend. So that would be nice to do. So appreciate all the new subscribers out there who have subscribed new to my channel. Again, let's see if we can hit 20,000 this evening. Thanks to some more subscribers coming in. We're down to 24 now. We're down to 24 subscribers to hit 20,000. So thank you guys so much for helping out. Yeah, my dream ultimately is to get 1 million subscribers on YouTube, so, or more. We shall see. Yeah, thank you, Krista. Yes, Krista says, hit that like button too. Yeah, you guys might as well if you're already on the live stream and I'm answering all your questions out here. I'm working for you guys. So do me a favor, please, and just hit that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't already. It's the easiest 2 buttons you guys will ever press. I promise you that. I promise you that. And hit the notification bell if you want as well. You don't have to, but it helps to get all these notifications for the live streams, videos, and all that stuff. You're welcome, Kevin. What does the red mean? That's just heavier rain. So the brighter the colors on this map is the heavier the rainfall. So if you're in the maroon red, that's at least 2 inches of rain or more. Some of these areas showing up in the brighter reds, we could be talking about 3 to 4 inches in East Texas, northern Louisiana, so Tyler, Texas, up towards Shreveport, Jackson, Mississippi. That's what that red indicates. Yeah, that's what that red indicates, Angel. Yeah, you're in the red color. A lot of rainfall for you then. Yeah, I'm going to try doing more of these live streams here in the future to answer questions on these bigger events ahead of these events so you guys get more information on this. I will never leave you in the dark about any weather events that happen across the country, whether it's in the Pacific Northwest, the East Coast, or anything like that. I'm always going to forecast stuff all across the country from coast to coast, so I'm dedicated to doing that. You can't find the like button. You just scroll down underneath the live stream. Mark, just scroll down under the live stream. It's the thumbs up button. That's what it is. Yeah, it's just the thumbs up button. That's the like button. Yeah, it doesn't say like on it. It doesn't say like on it. I should be more specific. Yeah, press the thumbs up button if you want to like the live stream or videos, okay? It doesn't say like on it. Yeah, it's the thumbs up button, Mark. You're right. Yes, it doesn't say like on it. I should have been more specific. I'm sorry about that. But I appreciate it. So anybody else have any more questions on any of the stuff I went over or anything like that? Any questions weather related or anything like that? I can definitely answer them here within the next few minutes. I think I'm going to end this live stream closer to about 8 o'clock. So if you guys are still on here, I think we're going to end this closer to 8 o'clock. Oh, you're just joking, Mark? All right, no problem, man. No problem. Yeah, if you guys haven't yet subscribed, we are 24 subscribers away, guys. 24 subscribers away from hitting 20,000. Please, let's see if we can get to 20,000 subscribers on this channel this evening. That would be awesome if we could do that. Within the next few minutes, guys, press that subscribe button fast and furious. Let's see if we can do it. Don't press it again. If you guys have already pressed the subscribe button and you press it again, you're just going to unsubscribe to my channel. Don't be doing that now. Now we're down to 25 again. Somebody unsubscribed. Yeah, don't press it again once you've already pressed it. You're subscribed. It says subscribe. Just don't press it again, otherwise you'll unsubscribe to the channel. Internet Enjoyer just got here. Well, thank you so much for joining. Again, if you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'm here for you guys to give you all the weather forecast that you need. Again, I'm Weather on the Go and all your weather coverage. That's my motto anyway, so. Yeah, you get all of my daily weather forecast updates on this channel. Do you guys, I don't know, has anybody in here, have you guys ever watched my forecast videos every morning at 9 a.m. or whenever you guys do? What do you think about them? Do you like the detailed weather breakdowns on them, the scientific type of stuff, showing you the like weather pattern from the top of the atmosphere down and then, timing it out with the hourly forecasts and long range stuff? Do you guys like that type of stuff? Let me know down below what you think. You watch my daily videos? Oh, okay. You watch too, Krista? All right. What do you think about them? You like the daily weather breakdowns, like the detailed stuff? Okay, internet says yes. Okay. Can you show when the ice is coming into Tennessee tonight? I sure can. Let me look here. Let me go back. This is tonight again, Western Tennessee through this evening. I think over after midnight, it'll move into Western Tennessee. So Memphis, Clarksville, up there toward Jackson, Tennessee, west of Nashville. There, it's going to be moving in after midnight into Western Tennessee. It will stick around at times through mid morning, and then there'll be a lull in the action through the afternoon tomorrow in Tennessee, and then that will start to move back in very late afternoon, early evening into Tennessee again across the same areas: Clarksville, Jackson, Tennessee, back down to Memphis, and then eastern Arkansas there Tuesday evening. That's with the second wave of precipitation, and then we will see another lull in the action going into Wednesday before we see more Wednesday evening across those areas. So multiple waves of freezing rain. It's not going to be a continuous freezing rain event like nonstop. There's going to be a lot of dry time in between, but each one will be, leading to a lot more issues on the roadways because of the system beforehand. So Krista said, I like the details. Well, thank you so much, Krista. Definitely much appreciated. Any news on Jacksonville, Arkansas? I'm worried about losing power tomorrow. Let me look and see where Jacksonville, Arkansas is here relative to, which side of the state it's on in Arkansas here. So I can give you more information on that. Just northeast of Little Rock. So here, timing it out for there. Again, after midnight, there'll be a lull in the action northeast of Little Rock toward Jacksonville, Arkansas. Maybe some freezing drizzle that may not be picked up on here very much. So just because it looks like there's no precipitation, there still could be some very light freezing drizzle that doesn't show up on here. Sometimes the radar doesn't even show it either. And then, mid-morning, we'll have another lull in the action. That second wave will move on up. I think another round of freezing drizzle, freezing rain for Jacksonville, Arkansas through the day tomorrow. This could be a more significant round of freezing rain there. And then going through Wednesday, another lull in the action before it moves up into that area Wednesday night. Northeast of Arkansas, Jacksonville, Arkansas, I'm expecting 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of ice, with locally up to 3/4 of an inch of ice for you northeast of Little Rock there in Jacksonville, Arkansas. So if you live in Jacksonville, Arkansas, an average of around 1/2 an inch of ice is a good bet for you. Melissa says, will Kansas City, Missouri get any ice? Good question. No, it's not going to get any ice too far north. The system is going to stay well south of the Kansas City area. So, yeah, well south of the Kansas City area. You guys won't even see the snow from it. It'll be too far south. So it's going to be staying dry in Kansas City. So hopefully that answers your question there. Krista says, thank you so much. This is wild, the waves of ice. Yeah, it hasn't happened in quite a while. I mean, I have to go back in history and see, like, if there's any storms back in, like, the 1900s or even the early 2000s that was similar to this. You want to always look at analogs. Sometimes weather models don't always work in your favor, and sometimes you got to look at past weather events to forecast for the future, and that's what sometimes works out, so. Yeah, you're very welcome, Internet. You're very welcome. Spur, Texas, how much ice? So let me look up. Again, I'm not sure about some of these smaller cities, but I will definitely look them up for you guys because I'm here for you. Spur, Texas. How much ice? Let me see where Spur, Texas is. You're just east of Lubbock. Um, I'd say about a light glaze of ice to maybe a tenth of an inch of ice with this system. Again, some of these events are tricky because freezing rain can overperform or underperform. So again, you just want to be safe but rather than sorry. So I think a light glaze of ice up to around a tenth of an inch of ice is a good bet for you in towards the Lubbock area and Spur, Texas as well. The stores are packed tonight. I had to wait in line for 3 hours. Wow, to check out at the store. Yeah, probably a lot of people getting salt and snow shovels and all that stuff. Ice scrapers for their cars and windshields. Yeah, probably a lot of that getting purchased at those stores tonight. Searcy, Arkansas. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Searcy, Arkansas. That is also north and east of Little Rock. Yeah, you guys are going to see a half an inch of ice is a good bet for you in Searcy, Arkansas. So possibly as much as 3/4 of an inch of ice. You guys are currently under, so Jacksonville, Arkansas and Searcy, Arkansas. I do believe you guys are both under ice storm warnings, if I'm not mistaken. So I think, yeah, you guys are under ice storm warnings. So half an inch of ice is a good bet. Yeah, you're welcome, Baby D. You're welcome. Thank you, James. Thank you. Gerald, Texas. North of Austin, so that's south central Texas. You guys are, I believe, you guys are under a winter storm warning for ice, and you guys could see through the height of this event anywhere for you guys. A half an inch of ice is a good bet for you. So at least according to the HRRR model, this will be updating overnight. I'll have new weather forecast updates in the morning, so you guys can subscribe down below, hit the notification bell. I'll have a new video for you guys in the morning for sure, and yeah, so you guys can get all that updated information. But yeah, half an inch of ice there in Gerald, Texas is probably a good bet. Yeah, thank you so much, Krista. Yes, please hit that thumbs up button. It's that like button. It's the thumbs up button down below. It helps to get more people to the channel. Helps out, to spread this weather information out to more and more people. So thank you so much, Krista. And yes, definitely do so down below. Press that like button, thumbs up button. And guys, we're just a handful of subscribers away from hitting 20,000. Guys, we're just over 20,000. We're just over 20 people away from hitting 20,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to help me in hitting 20,000 subscribers this evening on this live stream, we need 24 more people to subscribe to the channel as of now. So if you guys are one of those 24 out there that are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below if you have not already hit the subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel. Definitely much appreciated. See if we can hit that 20,000 mark here this evening. Yeah, so now we're only 21 away, guys. 3 people just subscribed. So thank you to all the new subscribers out there helping out. Helping to try and get closer to that 20,000 mark. Definitely a big moment for me because when I started YouTube, I didn't have any people following me. So this is I'm really blessed to have all you guys here, and you guys are an amazing audience, so I couldn't ask for anything better. Thank you so much. In Morgan County, Tennessee, the NOAA still says only rain. Can I trust them? Donna says. Morgan County, Tennessee. I'm not exactly sure. Do you know what city? Donna, do you know what city is around Morgan County? Like, is there any small towns that I could look up? Because I'm not exactly sure where Morgan County is. Let me know about that. Thank you so much, Baby D. Just subscribe. So thank you so much. Definitely much appreciated. Yeah, we're almost there, guys. We're about 16 subscribers away from hitting 20,000. So 16 more people subscribe. Definitely much appreciated. Yeah, sorry, I'm just drinking water, guys. I've been talking for a couple hours now. I need a little bit of water. I apologize. I love doing these live streams for you guys because it helps get more information out to you guys so you guys aren't left in the dark about the weather, and you have people on YouTube trying to push out the how dangerous these setups are, and just to get you the facts, instead of just the saying all the stuff and making it hype. It's these are facts. I mean, this is going to happen. So, and I know there's a lot of people out there saying, "Well, this is all hype." It's not hype. It's the real deal, guys. And just the people saying it's all hype is just lessening the threat out there because it makes people think that it's not going to be much, and then get them on the roads. No, we don't need anybody on the roads. It's not hype. It's going to happen. There's ice storm warnings, winter storm warnings, and winter weather advisories out for a reason. The National Weather Service offices do not put these out lightly, especially ice storm warnings and winter storm warnings. They do not put those out lightly. They consider those for quite a while before they put them out. So thank you so much, Krista. Thank you. And thank you also, Internet. Yeah, I'm blessed to have you be on my channel, joining me here this evening. So thank you. Just north of Harriman, Tennessee. So let me look. Thank you so much, Donna, for that. Let me look here for you. Harriman, Tennessee. I'm guessing you're talking, is that Western Tennessee? Let's see here. Oh, that's east of Nashville. Yeah, you guys aren't going to see much of anything ice-wise. You guys might see a very light glaze of ice at most. But other than that, I'm not seeing anything super significant for eastern Tennessee. So if you live over there towards Pigeon Forge and Knoxville and Cookeville and Crossville, Tennessee and Chattanooga, all those areas, we're just not seeing a lot of ice over there. So that's some good news. So hopefully that answers your question. Nancy says, subscribe now. Good data. Well, thank you so much, Nancy, for subscribing. Definitely much appreciated. Again, I am blessed to have all you guys here this evening with me. Again, always blessed to have you guys watching my videos in the morning and live streams, and just blessed to be doing this for you guys to help get valuable and trustworthy information out to as many people as possible, to give you a most accurate depiction of the weather forecast as possible every single day. So we're always going to give you the most accurate weather forecast on this page. I promise you that. There's no hype on this page. It's all trustworthy. I promise you. It's accurate. Amen, Krista. There you go. Amen. She is correct. Oh, there's sleet near Bedford, Indiana. Yeah, there's going to be some sleet up into Indiana. Some of this is, but the strongest of the freezing rain potential will be south of Indiana. But it looks like southern Indiana, you guys near Evansville and far, far southern Indiana there toward the Ohio River, you might be seeing some light glaze of ice, but we're not seeing the more significant ice is in west central portions of Kentucky, and that is only a couple tenths of an inch, but that can still cause some travel disruptions and stuff like that. Farther southwest from there, western Tennessee down toward Memphis and Jackson, Tennessee, Clarksville, yeah, we're talking at least a quarter to half an inch of ice, if not more. Like I said, there could be isolated amounts that could overperform what this model shows. Again, ice is very hard to predict. Ice accumulation is very hard to predict. Freezing rain is tough to predict. And I think sometimes these overperform or underperform. So consider yourself lucky if it shows a half inch of ice and you guys only get a tenth or two of an inch of ice. But unfortunately, there could be some areas that could see over a half inch, maybe upwards of, up to an inch of ice. So, and that is, just think about, like I said, an inch of snow and how much that is to ice. I mean, that is a lot of ice. So definitely be mindful of that. 26. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, just so you guys know, I'm 22 years old, so I started YouTube younger. I mean, I started YouTube in March 1st of 2022, so I'm finally getting closer to my 1 year anniversary of having YouTube on here, and it couldn't be much better. I'm trying to get to March 1st. I'm trying my best to get to 50,000 subscribers by March 1st. That's my goal. We'll see if I can do it. I'm just about 30,000 away. So we'll see if I could do that. Thanks to you guys for subscribing. So that's my goal by my 1 year anniversary of being on YouTube, which will be March 1st of 2023. Yeah, my goal is to have 50,000 subscribers, so we'll see. Oh, you're talking the temperature is 26 degrees? Wow, yeah, that's pretty chilly. Pretty chilly. Could be a lot worse this time of year, though. I'll tell you that. I mean, there's going to be a big warm up going into next week. That is for sure. So hopefully you guys can enjoy that. If you guys aren't aware, here I'll show you that now instead of just talking about it. Um, these are potential high temperatures going into next week. Just a moment here. Yeah, but this isn't an official forecast yet. This is not officially, a forecast high temperature, but it shows the European forecast model does pretty well with the temperature patterns, and I do think that at least mid 40s are a good bet across Indiana there and parts of the Ohio Valley, the Missouri and Illinois valleys here. Monday, February 6th, and even warmer times ahead. Yeah, we could be springboarding up into the upper 50s, near 60 degrees into the eastern Ohio Valley into West Virginia going in towards Tuesday, February 7th. So definitely a big warm up on the way. Yeah, so if you guys haven't pressed the like button, we're almost to 300 likes and we're almost to 20,000 subscribers. So hit both down below. It's the thumbs up button. Yeah, we're only 8 subscribers away from 20,000. Thanks to everybody for subscribing. Much appreciated, guys. You guys rock. You really do. We're only 8 away now. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. I hope to hit that here this live stream. Yeah, now 6 more. I keep refreshing it. I keep refreshing it. I'm excited. I'm excited to hit 20,000, you know? Sorry, I'm just drinking water again. I apologize for 5 more, guys. We're on the countdown now. We're down to 5 subscribers to hit 20,000. This is awesome. I want to hit 25,000, but hey, 20,000 tonight that would be fine by me. Thank you so much, guys. You guys rock. Any other questions? Now we're down to 1 now. We're down to 1. Who's the lone wolf that's not subscribed in the live stream? Hit the subscribe button. Thank you. No, I hate sounded like a broken record, but I mean this is a big moment for me. So, like I said, I started with 0 people following me, and it's amazing to me that I'm already at 20,000, pretty much. So, thank you so much, guys. We already hit 20,000. You guys really, really do rock. We hit it this evening. We're at 20,002 subscribers. 20,002 and building, guys. Our next goal is 25,000 here. Hopefully, just a few short days away, I can hit 25,000. Thanks to you guys. And I hope to do more of these live streams. I might be live tomorrow. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll try to be live on Wednesday or Thursday again. We might cover some other stuff. I'm going to be going live a lot more this spring. I'm going to try to go live more during severe weather events, flooding events, stuff like that. And eventually during the hurricane season, I'll be going live during those times as well. So you guys can count on that. Yeah, see, look how awesome you guys are. 20,006. See, that's pretty cool, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Because each and one of you are contributing to me getting closer to 50,000, which is my goal by my 1-year anniversary of being on YouTube, which is March 1st of 2023. Thanks so much, Collins. Thank you. The 0Z model, info, the DFW. Here, let me look on my laptop here, and then I'll try to show it on the main screen. I'm going to look at the new model data, and I'm going to look at it real quick, and I'm going to see what it shows. Some of the 0Z models are coming in, so you are correct. And let me see if I can... It's just coming in now, so it's not quite fully loaded yet, the new 0Z models for the freezing rain. So I can say, let me look at what the NAM has done from earlier today to now. Just a moment, guys. The NAM has gotten a lot more bullish on the ice amounts. The NAM has ratcheted up the ice amounts from the 12Z to 18Z to now 0Z, the new update. It updates every 6 hours. And why I say Z is that models are it's Z time for models. So that's how that's their kind of like when we have Central Time, Eastern Time, Mountain Time, Pacific Time, stuff like that. The weather models are controlled off of Z time. So basically, yeah, it's a lot more bullish on that. And just going through Tuesday night, looking here, the NAM model is showing a half-inch ice in East Texas and a half-inch of ice, almost 3/4 of an inch of ice. Wow, into Memphis, Tennessee, just by Tuesday night. And then we have another round behind that. So I'm going to see here in a moment if I could put that up on the main screen. Well, yeah, once the new models come in, if I'm still live, I will definitely put them up on the main screen to show you guys the new data. Otherwise, I'll have the new data in my video tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. So check that out. A layer of ice starting to form, Alan. Okay, yeah, wow, yeah. There's going to be a lot of that here the next couple of days. That is for sure. That is for sure. Here's some of the tips that you guys can take if you're ready. If you're not ready for an ice storm, I'll leave that up on the screen for a few minutes there. Again, don't leave your vehicle wipers raised. Definitely, a lot of ice can crush that stuff because it's so heavy. You should have a week's worth of food and water and stuff like that. Non-perishable food items, if you guys can have those as well. Don't park your car under trees because, again, tree branches and um, can break off and go through your windshield or do damage to your vehicle. Keep your devices charged. I mean that you should do that at all times, especially during even severe weather season or anything like that. Keep your devices charged, whether it's a smartphone, a laptop, and a tablet, anything like that. So smartphones, laptops, tablets, anything that you have, um, keep them charged and ready to go so you have alerts and you can get these live streams when I go live and videos and stuff to stay up to date on the weather forecast. I am curious if the air will be able to stay cold enough in Dallas Fort Worth for round 3 Wednesday through Thursday night in North Texas. Um Again, I'm just going over the new model data right now looking at my laptop here, and I will try to put that on the main screen as soon as it comes up. It's not fully loaded yet, so I can't quite do it yet, but I will try my best. It's only 27 hours loaded into that, so it's only going through early morning on Wednesday right now. So I don't have much data yet. Not much data yet. At least on the new models that are coming out. So current forecast has just above freezing during round 3, but models undercut cold air by 2 to 4 degrees. Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, every model has its own opinion, but again, I'll have more updates in the morning again for you guys. So don't worry, I'll keep it covered. I do weather forecast updates pretty much every single day for the most part. Very rarely do I take one day off, and if it is, it's just one day for the most part. Maybe if I go on vacation, it's like 2 days, or I might just put videos out while I'm on vacation sometimes, like in the summer or something. But very rarely do I even go on vacation. I like to stay home and keep you guys up to date on the weather forecast. Overcut, I should say. Colder than predicted. Yeah, cold. It's colder than predicted. Yep, you are correct. Colder than predicted. Again, thanks so much for everybody subscribing. We're over 20,000. You guys rock. Again, thanks so much. Couldn't do it without you. We're at 20,009. You guys rock. Appreciate it. On the road to 25,000. Thanks to you guys. Again, we probably won't hit our goal. Unfortunately, my goal was to hit 1,000 likes, thumbs ups on this live stream. But hey, 306, I'll take it. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have any other questions for me, you guys ask them. I know I said, look at that, guys. I said I'd be live till about 8 o'clock, and it's after 8, and I'm still here. I'm just dedicated to, keeping you guys informed. What does Tyler, Texas expect overnight? It looks like probably rain. Let me look. For the most part, it's probably rain. Yeah, it looks like mostly rain into East Texas, going through probably overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. Yeah, you're welcome, Donna. You're welcome. Thank you so much. So yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, I think I'm going to be wrapping this up in a few minutes. I'll try to go live more often. I'll try to go live more often here on this channel. I haven't been live for a few weeks. I'm going to try and go live more often and give you more information on stuff, especially these major events that happen. So we'll try to do that more often here in the future. But yeah, if you guys have not yet liked it, it's the thumbs up button down below, guys. Leave that thumbs up button, press the thumbs up button down there below the live stream and the video on the way out, and hit the subscribe button on the way out as well. 20,009 already, guys, and we're on the road to 25,000. If you guys want to help to contribute to that and to getting closer to my 1-year anniversary of being on YouTube, which is March 1st of 2023. My goal is to have 50,000 subscribers, only a couple months away here. So if you guys want to be a small part into contributing to that, definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And again, thanks to everybody for joining me this evening. Definitely appreciate it. So any more questions? I'm going to take last questions here these next couple minutes. Otherwise, I'll be on my way out here for the evening. You guys can also find more updates. I have a Twitter page. You guys can follow me on Twitter down below. The Twitter handle is down below the live stream in the subscription. You guys can follow me on Twitter. I post from time to time for the most part. Try to do it every day, every other day on there. To keep you guys well aware of these bigger events and just longer range weather forecast stuff. You guys can also go onto my YouTube page. You guys can find my community tab on there. I post a lot of polls, questions, the questions about the weather and when I'm going to go live for my live streams and sometimes video stuff of my upcoming long range weather videos. You guys can see that on there as well. All right. Saunders says hello. Well, thanks, Saunders, for joining. Yeah, I'm on my way out, unfortunately. So I've been on here since 6 o'clock. I got to go finish my dinner and stuff like that and get ready for the night and get ready for my video that I'm going to be sending out to you guys at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time tomorrow. So a lot of information on that video. Probably expect another 18-minute video or thereabout, trying to forecast, stuff like that. We're not only talking about the ice storm, that's the main story, but extreme cold in the northeast and southeast Canada, and then the long range pattern into February. Then on Wednesday, not tomorrow, but Wednesday morning, I'll be putting out my February outlook for Wednesday of what you guys can expect then. So be on the lookout for that. My spring weather forecast update for March, April, and May will be coming out shortly in the next couple of weeks. So you guys can be on the lookout for that, going through about February 8th to 10th and stuff like that time frame. So be on the lookout. So if you guys are, yeah, I'm on Twitter, Krista. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, the Twitter handle is down below the description here in the live stream. So you just press down below the description, and it should have my Twitter handle down below there as well. So Mia says, hey, hello, Mia. Thanks for joining. Saunders, sorry I didn't know you were streaming. That's all right, no worries. I try to go live more often here. I put it on Twitter and I try to put it on Twitter and on my community tab when I'm going live. So you're very welcome, Krista. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, thank you guys so much for joining this evening. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Saunders, Donna, Josh. Thank you so much to you guys. Thank you to Peace the Truth. Thank you to WB Lee. Thank you to Weatherlow78. Zephyrus Collins, thank you so much. To you, Internet Enjoyer, thank you to Nancy. Thank you as well to, let's see who was on here. James, thank you so much to Baby D. Thank you so much to Angel and all you guys. Thank you to Mark and everybody else who was on the live stream today. Definitely much appreciated. All your questions were very good questions, and I look forward to answering as many questions as possible. You guys can ask questions even in the comment section down below my videos each and every day as well. I answer everybody's questions for the most part as well during that time frame, usually in the afternoon and evening. You can look out for the answer then. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining. Have a safe and great rest of your Monday out there and the rest of your week. Stay safe from Dallas, Fort Worth to Little Rock to Memphis, especially, and across all areas in the Deep South from the Southern Plains, the Mid-Mississippi Valley, and the Ohio Valley through Wednesday. Stay off the roads, stay safe, make good decisions out there driving if you have to. And again, I will see you all tomorrow morning for another weather forecast discussion. Have a great night, everybody, and thanks for joining.